Ready for another deep dive? This time, let's take a look at what's coming up in the world of ChatGPT and OpenAI. It's really amazing to think that ChatGPT has become so popular in such a short amount of time. It seems like just yesterday it was just an experiment, and now it's got something like 250 million users every week. That's huge, but OpenAI's got even bigger plans. They're aiming for 1 billion users by 2025. That's a lot of growth packed into just a couple years, which makes you think, are they trying to corner the market on AI? Think about it, 1 billion people using a single AI platform. That's, well, kind of scary, right? There are some serious questions about whether OpenAI is even ready to handle the ethical side of all that, not to mention what kind of pressure that kind of power would put on other AI companies. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. For now, let's focus on how OpenAI is planning to get all those users. And one of the big things they're focusing on is AI agents. Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute, aren't those just glorified chatbots? Well, not exactly. They're way more powerful. Imagine an AI assistant that can not only answer your questions, but can also do stuff for you in the real world. Stuff like booking your appointments, buying things for you, even doing research online. OpenAI thinks these AI agents are going to be everywhere by 2025. And, well, they're definitely making moves to make that happen. This whole AI agent thing, it really shows how OpenAI is focusing on making AI useful, like actually doing stuff for you. And that's where their partnership with Apple comes in. They're bringing ChatGPT to iPhones. Think about it. ChatGPT right there on your phone. Millions of people using it every day. That's a pretty big step toward that billion user goal, wouldn't you say? Plus, it could change everything about how we use our phones. Imagine just asking your phone to write an email, translate something, or answer any question you have, all with ChatGPT. But it's not just about making things easier. This partnership, it could lead to a whole new generation of AI apps and services, things we can't even imagine yet. Of course, there's always a flip side. It makes you wonder what happens to all your data when AI is baked right into your phone. It's definitely something to watch out for as this partnership moves forward. Now, all of this, the AI agents, the partnership with Apple, not to mention all the work they're doing on ChatGPT itself, it takes some serious horsepower, And that's why OpenAI has been pouring money into building their own data centers. These data centers are they're kind of like the brains of the operation. They've got tons of powerful computers that process all the data needed to train and run these huge AI models. It's got to cost a fortune, but it gives OpenAI a lot of control over their tech, and it lets them scale it fast. It kind of shows you how important raw computing power is in this whole AI race. So we've talked about AI agents, Apple, but what about the models themselves? What's new with ChatGPT? Well, GPT-5, the next big version, isn't coming out this year, but they're still working on it behind the scenes. In the meantime, they're improving GPT-4. They're also building new models like GPT-01. GPT-01 is pretty interesting. It's designed for science and math, really complex stuff. Imagine AI that can help scientists analyze data, solve crazy equations, even come up with new hypotheses. This could totally change how we do science. We could see breakthroughs in medicine, materials science, even climate change research. But all this progress, especially with these big language models, it sparked a pretty big debate. Should we keep making these models bigger and more powerful, or should we start focusing on smaller AIs that are specialized for certain tasks? On the one hand, bigger models mean more power, more possibilities. You could solve some of the world's toughest problems, uncover secrets to the universe, who knows? But then you have to think, what's the cost? They need mountains of data. They can be biased in ways we don't even understand yet. And the cost to develop them is astronomical. It's a lot to think about. And that's where this idea of specialized AIs gets interesting. What if, instead of these huge general-purpose models, we focus on smaller AIs that are experts in one specific area, like healthcare, finance, or education, for example? These specialized AIs, they could be a lot more efficient, a lot more focused. You could have AIs helping doctors make diagnoses, helping scientists discover new drugs, even personalizing education for every student. It's a pretty fascinating idea, and it makes you wonder, which path is better? Bigger is better, or smaller and more focused? It's a question we'll be wrestling with for a while, I think, especially as AI gets more and more advanced. And that's kind of the point, isn't it? The future of AI isn't set in stone. It's something we're creating right now with every decision we make. It's up to us, really, up to everyone. As OpenAI and all these other companies keep pushing the limits, we have to have these tough conversations. We have to think about the good and the bad and figure out how to make AI a force for good in the world. It's a challenge, but it's one we can't ignore. And that's a wrap for our deep dive today. Thanks for listening.